Hi, my name is Terry Scott, and I direct the Center for Instructional and Behavioral Research in Schools, or CIBERS, here at the University of Louisville. Welcome to our classroom management course. We've prepared a collection of strategies related to classroom management that you can begin using right now in order to maximize the probability of student success in the classroom. This first module provides an overview of classroom management, all focused on things that teachers and other adults in the classroom can control as a means of facilitating student success. Certainly, one might ask, why should we manage classrooms? For many, management stirs up images of tightly controlled jail-type settings that seem overly controlling and stifle learning. Logically, effective instruction requires that students be alert, engaged, and compliant to teacher directions. But when we use the term classroom management, it doesn't mean that we are managing students or forcing their behaviors. We're not holding them or physically inhibiting them in any way. Rather, classroom management means that we take responsibility for arranging what we control in the environment to increase the probability of student success. Think of it like this. A school crossing street sign does not force you to slow your speed, but it does create a probability for safer driving. Of course, consequences are also a part of this, and we'll talk about that. But effective management is foremost focused on prevention. While the teacher likely can't control everything in the classroom, there are some important things that are always under teacher control. We'll discuss how teachers can use their own experiences in the classroom to consider what actions provide the best probability for student success. If you've worked in a classroom at all, you probably have a sixth sense about what problems are, when they're most likely to happen, where they might happen, and when or under what conditions they might happen. The better we can predict a problem, the simpler the prevention will be. So we use our experiences to predict. If our charge was to prevent all problems everywhere all day for everyone, that would be a large undertaking. But if we know that problems are more likely with boys at 10:30 a.m. near the sink with splashing, our intervention can be much simpler and more focused. Let's say you're going to Vegas and there's a game especially for you. First, write down the name of a problem behavior that you encounter often in your daily classroom life. Then, take out your $100 chip and place it on the map in the location that you think the problem is most likely to occur. Finally, set the clock to the time that the problem is most likely to occur. Of course, there's a chance it won't happen because this is gambling. But what's your best chance of winning? More specifically, what do you control that might prevent these problems? There's no way to predict and prevent every possible problem. Further, there are things we know we can't control. However, we do have experiences that allow us to predict, and we generally do have control over schedules and arrangements that are keys to creating effective instructional environments.